Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. We will follow you to the rest of your life. Those are the words spoken by Leora Rees, who is an activist and the founder and executive director of StopAnti-semitism, a prominent US-based watchdog group dedicated to exposing individuals and organizations accused of anti-Semitism. I'm going to play the video with her as one of the first clips that I will present to you today. But something truly interesting came to my mind. And how come I have not considered this before? For the last 2 months, a little bit longer than that, I was on that path of looking into Chabad Lubavitch, looking into those rabbis that are behind Trump, behind Putin, behind Zelensky, and many other very important figures in politics, as well as the finances and power in that regard. And I came across posts that I will be also presenting to you and translating to you what is said in this post. One of the things that was said right at the end of it was this: synagogues are branches of Mossad and rabbis are agents. This really starts to make sense. At the end of all of this, I think this statement alone makes the most of sense. So how you control people by placing the agents of Mossad as close to you as possible. So Trump has his own rabbi, Putin has his own rabbi, Zelensky has his own rabbi. Every country has a rabbi, okay? Most of the countries except North Korea and Cuba, I guess. That's when we were looking into it. And I think Vatican, but Vatican has its own persona, right? So this will be the video today. We will go through Trump making some statements at the White House during celebrating Hanukkah at the White House. We will definitely look into it. And in the rabbi who is next to Trump, we will also look into, let me find this, Rabbi Caplun, who is a special envoy. He's a special envoy of to monitor and combat anti-Semitism as well. So the war has begun, I think has been going on, but the war has begun with anyone who questions or speaks negatively about Israel, okay? So before we start this video today, I would like to say thank you to Jeffrey, who has donated on my PayPal account. I will email you, Jeffrey, to make sure if you order the book or if it's just a donation. And I will get back to you, Richard, because you emailed me about purchasing 3 books. This is my product, everyone, just quickly before we start. A little bit self-promo, but that's how I support myself. You know, this platform, talking about stuff I'm talking now, no bueno, right? Matilda and Odo's Adventures. This is book number 1 for children. You can order it. The information is down below the video. And let's start with the news today. So let's start with this. We will follow you to the rest of your life. Actually, let's start with the video. Then I will give you an introduction to who is this person that you're gonna see right here, this woman. So let me mute myself. Let's take a listen. Things are getting serious.
That thanks to Google and SEO will follow you for the rest of your life. Tonight, I speak not just about a problem, but an actual fight. A fight that the Jewish community did not choose, but one that we are now fully engaged in, confronting the global explosion of Jew hatred. After 10/7, the scale of threat and the urgency of our mission changed dramatically overnight. Since that day, We have featured more than 1,000 anti-Semites on our platforms. 1,000. Approximately 400 of these Jew haters have faced real consequences, including firings, suspensions, and expulsions. More than 300 of them remain in an active investigatory state across universities, corporations, DEI departments, unions, hospitals, nonprofits, and yes, unfortunately, federal government agencies. This is what accountability looks like. This is what action looks like. This is what pushing back hard looks like against the tidal wave of hate that has consumed the United States and global population. Anti-Semitism thrives when there are no consequences. So we created consequences. Jewish students were hunted through libraries, where professors glorified Hamas and Hezbollah terrorists. If you target Jewish students, your actions will not disappear into the darkness. We will shine a light on you that, thanks to Google and SEO, will follow you for the rest of your life. When you look for a job, when you look for a spouse, when you look for a nanny, when you look for anything, our work will always be documented, again, thanks to Google and SEO. Online, where anonymous accounts spread violent threats, we traced patterns, elevated evidence, and worked with authorities, leading to arrests from Florida, South Carolina, New York, California, and Texas.
So you heard that. Now, who is she? Let's look into her briefly before we go to much more important people, even though she acts like she is very important. So I said this before, she's an activist and the founder and executive director of StopAnti-semitism, a prominent US-based watchdog group dedicated to exposing individuals and organizations accused of anti-Semitism. Early life, born in Kaunas, Lithuania, formerly part of the Soviet Union, Rees, her last name, is the daughter and granddaughter of Jews who fled Soviet-sponsored discrimination. Interesting. Jewish chick, in quotation marks. In 2013, she began her social media career under the name Jewish Chick, originally as a lifestyle blog. She transitioned into activism following a surge in online anti-Semitism during the 2014 Gaza conflict. Education, she holds a Bachelor of Science degree in neuroscience from Brandeis University. Now, I ask AI about any connections with Chabad Lubavitch, because, you know, all roads lead there eventually. Leora Rees has several intersections with Chabad Lubavitch, primarily through her advocacy work and her personal religious upbringing as a Soviet Jewish refugee. Let's see. Influence of Chabad leaders. Rees has expressed admiration for the resilience of Chabad leadership. Again, those of you who don't know, Chabad Lubavitch, headquarters in Brooklyn, New York, under which the tunnels have been found. In a 2020 essay, she credited Chabad leaders with helping her recommit to a Torah-observant way of life, citing their unbreakable family bonds and sense of mission as authentic examples of faith. Oh, there is something about Brooklyn. Support for Chabad initiatives. In 2025, StopAnti-semitism publicized major Chabad-affiliated projects, such as the $50 million campus launch for Bet Rivka, a Chabad girls' school in Brooklyn, framing it as battlefront against anti-Semitism. All right, so we're done with her for now. Now we're gonna go to Trump for a moment, and then we will circle back to more Chabad Lubavitch people who are close to Trump, who are at the White House at this point. So first video will be from him yesterday at the White House celebrating Hanukkah. But actually, you know what? Before, this is all connected, I'm telling you. This is really, guys, all connected. But before, let's look into this rabbi. Do I have it here? I'm not sure I do. So let's go to the video. Let's go to the video. We're going to see Chabad Lubavitch rabbi designated to Trump, okay? He's the one. And then I'm going to read the article, how important he is in the United States. So here it is, White House Hanukkah celebration. Pay attention, everyone, because you're going to see the rabbi that represents Chabad Lubavitch in the US. So let me mute myself. Let's go.
Good evening. We're about to proceed to light the menorah. Mr. President, you know that I'm Jewish. You know that I'm American. You heard? Yeah. You know that I'm American, but you may not know that a very large part of my family lives in Australia. And that includes some of those who had escaped the attack and some who didn't. And all I can say is listening to them on the other side of the world speak about you, you don't just express solidarity, you practice solidarity with the Jewish people. And you practice solidarity with Israel, perhaps in a way we've never seen before, to the extent that many people say and many people believe that you may very well be, even among the friends of Israel and the Jewish people we've had, the most, the strongest, the deepest friend that Israel and the Jewish people have ever had here in the White House. That's not to negate anything anyone has done for us, but just to tell you how so many people feel about you. We're going to light the menorah, which gives us a message of the victory of right over might, of justice over tyranny, of light over darkness. And it is especially in this time when the Jewish people has so much of a burden that we need this light. We need this strength, not only from each other, but from you, Mr. President, who constantly remind the world that even if they all turn against us, God forbid, you never will. And so I think that it is a great honor that I've been invited to lead the lighting of the menorah here this year. And I want to wish you and your family good health and happiness, strength and safety to our troops, serving stateside abroad. May God bless America. May God bless Israel. May God bless the Jewish people. Thank you.
We are going to return to that celebration with another video with a different person. But some of you probably noticed Howard, I think you know him is Howard Lutnick, the Secretary of Commerce, if I'm not mistaken. That's the position he holds, very close to Trump. Some call him even that some say that he's even a handler of Trump. I don't know, but he's a believer of Chabad Lubavitch. You could see him right next to that rabbi. So let's look into this rabbi, how important he is, because indeed he is important. And here is the article about him from Jerusalem Post. You can see him right next to Trump. Rabbi Levi Shemtov. Let's read this just a little bit. Like many prominent Washington personalities, Rabbi Levi Shemtov is articulate, well-connected, and an excellent raconteur. Unlike most, however, he sports a full beard, a black hat, and is a Lubavitcher Hasid. Correct. Let's read more. Shemtov has served as executive vice president of American Friends of Lubavitch, Chabad Lubavitch, in Washington since 1992, and is one of the last emissaries appointed by the Messiah, by the Rebbe, Rabbi Menahem Mendel Schneerson. So this is a big deal because the Messiah appointed him. The Lubavitcher Rebbe, that's right, before his death in 1994. We're not going to read about his family, but we're going to read this, what he said. Quoting him, "We moved here with 3 missions," he says, "to work on behalf of Chabad Lubavitch and support the world Jewish community writ large, with the government, with the federal government, to work on an outreach basis with the Jews in the federal government, and to cater, to the local Jewish community. Thank God, we have seen a lot of success in all those areas. One of the keys to Chabad's success," explains Shemtov, "is its decidedly non-partisan stance in Washington, which means both Republicans and Democrats are part of Chabad Lubavitch." Okay, simple as that, common sense. Washington, a city known for its intense partisanship. We have very deep connections with the leaders of Congress from both parties in both houses and with administrations of either side. So that's what he said. I will attach the article down below in the description box if you want to read it in full length. Again, going back to the post that I came across and the last statement from this post. Synagogues are branches of Mossad and rabbis are agents. Just keep it in mind because this really makes sense. Now let's go to another video from the same Hanukkah celebration at the White House. This is Trump again. Boy, oh boy, let's take a listen to what he had to say.
Thank you. We have a man, I have to take a little time. Because every Saturday night, used to be Sunday, then he did so well that they put him on Saturday too, Saturday night. You know who I'm talking about? Because there's only one has Saturday and Sunday. And Saturday is considered Death Valley, but it's not death because of ratings. Nobody gets good ratings. Although actually my daughter-in-law is doing well and you always did well. The great one, Mark Levin. And much more importantly, his much more brilliant wife. Where are you? There you are. Would you come on up here, both of you? Get up here. Get up here. Look, every Saturday, every Sunday, I'm forced to watch television to listen to this guy talk about how freaking great I am. Because he does like Trump. There's no question about it. Come on up here, Mark. Get up here. Come on up. What a beautiful couple. Did you get lucky? If you weren't a genius, you wouldn't have a wife like this. Mark, say a couple of words. Come here, darling. And these people do like Israel.
Hold on. And he loves Israel too.
It's true.
2 seconds. 6 years ago, I was up here, and I said, "This is our first Jewish president."
It's true.
Now he's the first Jewish president to serve 2 not consecutive presidencies. We thank you
That's
for
right.
everything.
That's right. Bad things happened on the second one. Namely, the election was rigged. And we found out, and you see that happening. But
And you are the greatest president.
Thank you very much.
And God bless you. I miss you. I miss you.
So guys, you know, a lot of you who have been following me from the beginning, you know that I was truly supporting Trump. But now when I look at him, I am asking myself, is it the same Trump that I saw 5 years ago in 2020? Was I blind, or something has really changed? Because this is pretty intense, I would say. So since they are going to fight with people, here is the special envoy, again, on the fight with anti-Semitism, approved by the White House, for sure. Let me take you to this guy. His name is, let's see. Let me find him. Another rabbi. Remember, rabbis are agents. I'm laughing, but actually I think this is very close to the truth. Maybe it's actually completely truth. Here he is. Rabbi Yehuda Caplun, Trump's pick for US anti-Semitic czar. All right, let's take a listen. I have 2 videos with him. This one is quick and to the point. The other one is also to the point, just a little bit longer.
How do we battle anti-Semitism on the internet? How are we doing better on algorithms? What companies can we work with? We are going to have a whole division within the office of the Special Envoy to combat anti-Semitism that is going to work on technology and working with the greatest leaders in technology, many of whom are Jewish and have offered their assistance. The office is going to be revamped entirely to be one of the highest profile offices in the State Department, because that's what the secretary wants and that's what the president wants. So we are going to have a very strong mandate on education, on protecting people, and how are we able to make a huge difference in combating what goes on accountable. How do we battle anti-Semitism?
I would say this, maybe not polite, but you know, I can say it still, thank God. Before he starts to battle anything, I think he has to battle his eating habits, because it doesn't look too healthy. And I say it, maybe it sounds sarcastic, but I really mean it. I think any warrior should start with himself or herself first. If you cannot master yourself, no one is perfect, of course, but if you cannot master certain things, how you want to master others, right? Unless, and that's usually the case, most of the times, if not all the times, those who are battling others are driven by very deeply rooted insecurities and fear and lack of self-love and some other demons. So now let's go to the longer video, because now he's going to explain to you how they will be fighting this in other countries as well.
The president is sending a very strong message. Think about it. Ironically, I get off a plane. I am the president's representative, and I am walking off with a yarmulke, and I have kosher food, and embassies will have kosher food. It is a game changer. The appointment is a game changer. And it's not about history. It's about education. And how do we educate? Indonesia has 350 million Muslims living in the country. How do we change their textbooks? How do we hold the people in Gaza accountable that if America is paying for UN textbooks and supposedly the changes are made, why are those textbooks not being used, and why are they using their old textbooks? We have to teach people it's not okay to educate your kids to be a martyr, okay? And we have to hold those countries accountable. How do we battle anti-Semitism on the internet? How are we doing better on algorithms? What companies can we work with? We are going to have a whole division within the office of the Special Envoy to combat anti-Semitism that is going to work on technology and working with the greatest leaders in technology, many of whom are Jewish and have offered their assistance. The office is going to be revamped entirely to be one of the highest profile offices in the State Department, because that's what the secretary wants and that's what the president wants. So we are going to have a very, very strong mandate on education, on protecting people, and how are we able to make a huge difference in combating what goes on.
So just a side note, I think he also meant Larry Fink, but I think you all know who he is. He bought TikTok, right? And he is going to be in charge of many other platforms as well. So who is this rabbi? Let's look into him for a moment. Of course, Chabad Lubavitch. Here we go. Rabbi Yehuda Caplun is a prominent figure within the Chabad Lubavitch movement, a businessman, and the 2025 nominee for US Special Envoy to monitor and combat anti-Semitism. You know, they get paid to have those positions, so taxpayers' money go to pay their salaries, right? Recent political appointment. In April 2025, President Donald Trump nominated Caplun to serve as the State Department Special Envoy for combating anti-Semitism. Current status. His nomination was advanced by the Senate Foreign Relations. I think it just went through like about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Committee, I might be wrong, but I think that was the time. Committee on December 4th, yeah, so I'm correct, 2025, with a bipartisan 14-8 vote. He is awaiting a full Senate floor for confirmation. So you're gonna probably see another video with him being sworn in as that special envoy in the Oval Office. Significance, if confirmed, he will be the first Hasidic Jew and the first member of the Chabad Lubavitch movement to hold this ambassador level post. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Now, you see how this is all connected, everyone? Do you see how this is all connected? So now, quick reminder, because we're going to go to the son of this rabbi. Here is, one more time, if you haven't, I know a lot of you who are still with me, because a lot of people are not watching this because they live in denial. They live in denial. They don't see how the Mossad is running their operations. Where is this guy's moment? Here we go. So, Rabbi Lazar, who is the rabbi designated to Russia from Chabad Lubavitch with Putin, right? Here, many, because even before Putin started, they already sent this rabbi to Russia, as far as I remember, looking at the dates. So Rabbi was in Russia before Putin became president. I think he was the prime minister and some other positions he held before, but Rabbi was already there. So one of his sons, we're gonna watch a video with one of the sons of this Rabbi Lazar. You know where? Crimea. Because this will really make sense. Let me show you this video. I'm gonna read you what it's going to say, because it's originally in Russian, okay? So here is going to be the video. I will play it originally in Russian, but I'm gonna read you the full translation of this post, okay? So whatever you see here on the post, what it said. Crimea is ours. The son of Russia's chief rabbi, Berl Lazar, Yehezkel Lazar, so this is the name of his son. He is the spiritual leader of the Jewish community in Simferopol. where he moved with his family to work as a rabbi. To understand, Crimea has long been sacred to Jewish oligarchs and friends of Putin. Rotenberg, Kovalchuk, those are the names of people. Malofeyev and many other oligarchs of the Kremlin synagogue are derailing Crimea. They are squeezing land from the coast from the locals, just as Jew once squeezed land from the Palestinians. Now, Rabbi Menahem Mendel Lazar is the son of Russia's chief Rabbi Ber Lazar. He married the daughter of Berlin's chief rabbi. So agents marry daughters and sons of other agents. He wanted to become Krasnodar's rabbi because he saw enormous potential in the local Jewish community. The Jewish population of Krasnodar is estimated at around 3,000. There is a synagogue in Krasnodar. Remember, synagogue, you will see in the second part of this post, synagogues are branches of Mossad. So there is a synagogue in Krasnodar. For comparison, the Muslim population of Krasnodar is, according to various estimates, between 150,000 and 200,000. So just one more time. There is a lot of 3,000 of them, and they have a synagogue. But Muslim community that is 150,000 and 200,000 doesn't have the synagogue. However, the city authorities do not allow and are categorically opposed to the construction of, mosque. So, of course, the Muslims, they don't have mosque, but the Jewish people have synagogue. So, however, the city authorities do not allow and are categorically opposed to the construction of mosque. Let me continue. And here is the final point. Shalom Lazar, son of Russia's chief Rabbi Ber Lazar, because he has a lot of children, I don't know, like 13, 14, 15, something like that, has been appointed rabbi of Sochi. There are over 3,000 Jews in Sochi and a synagogue. For comparison, Sochi has 12,000 to 20,000 Muslims. So here we go again, comparing again. There is a small mosque on a remote farm. In 81 regions, in 101 cities in Russia, there are 113 communities and synagogues and 101 rabbis. When I read about rabbis, almost all of them come from Israel or Western countries, such as, in our case, Russia's chief Rabbi Ber Lazar, a US citizen. And so here is the final sentence. Synagogues are branches of Mossad and rabbis are agents. Now I'm going to play this video for you in original language. And this actually was, how come I did not think about it, guys? How come I did not connect it that this actually, that's how it is. They just have the outfits and then they present themselves as simply only so-called religious figures or the believers, right? I didn't think about it, but this makes sense. How you put an agent in charge of a leader to control the moves of the leader that doesn't look like he's an agent. I mean, how I didn't figure out before. Sorry, I closed this video. Let me find this again. I'm going to play it in original Russian. I'm sure most of you will not understand, but at least you have the image of the son of Russian Rabbi Lazar. And yeah, that's what's up in Russia, everyone. So it doesn't matter what peace agreements they sign, because I'm telling you, this is Heavenly Jerusalem project. Okay, let's play the video.
В Симферополе прошла церемония вступления в должность главного раввина города Ехизкеля Лазара. Это сын главного раввина России Берла Лазара. Он уже поделился планами и в первую очередь собирается налаживать еврейское образование и откроет национальный центр в Крыму.
И вдруг нам сказали, что поговорить, посмотреть, что мы должны. Я когда увидел, что тут люди так ждут раввина, так ждут еврейской жизни, так ждут, чтобы еврейская жизнь тут жила и процветала, и чтобы больше людей ходило в общину, я понял, что, наверное, если я так люблю эту общину, так люблю евреев общины, так люблю город и Крым, тогда, наверное, это мое место. Поэтому я очень рад, что я сюда приехал. И я уверен, что вместе мы всегда будем сильны и будем делать много для еврейской общины, для евреев и для всего Крыма.
So, очень хорошо, Crimea is ours, and for, in that matter, many other places. I have to find a video. I lost it, you know, among all those videos that I'm sharing with you. That was a strategy, a map of which city will be a administrational city. I think Astana will be that. We're talking like Khazaria 2.0, Heavenly Jerusalem, okay? Like, open your mind, spread your wings. That's how it looks like. Odessa will be the culture city. And I forgot there were a few other important cities that held a certain role. They were designated to certain role, like Odessa is cultural, and then Astana would be, and I know where is Astana. This is like a little bit further, but you know, they own a lot of land. That's what's up, everyone. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I know this is not joyful topic, but you have to see through, as I say, illusion, delusion, confusion, or the other way around. And I have to tell you, for about 15 minutes or so, maybe 20 minutes this morning, I watched Candace Owens after that meeting with Erica Kirk, and I couldn't watch anymore because something just feels absolutely off, and I don't believe anyone anymore at this point. I'm telling you, I only trust God and my own intuition, because it's so easy to be deceived. You come to the point when you realize that even being on social media is like so unhealthy. It's so unhealthy. I keep on going, and I tell you why, because even though I'm not really enjoying those topics, I feel they are important to present. And I also believe that some of you appreciate it. And besides of that, I feel I have a sense of community here, a sense of, you know, it's not easy to find like-minded people. And I see in the comments section that a lot of you actually really understand what I'm talking about. And you are encouraging me to keep on going, and you applaud me that I am saying this, what I believe in, not repeating what others keep on repeating, because from my perspective, it really doesn't matter what agreements they sign, like Yalta 2.0, it doesn't matter, guys, because the plan is already there, is in the process of being executed, and on the surface, they just want you to follow, like, what land has been rescued or liberated. It's none of this is all political theater. Really is. When you look at how those agents are settling, how they are being located in certain cities, certain positions, certain regions, make no mistake, behind certain leaders in governments and most of the countries. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you still appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Leave the comments down below. Let me know if you think, I have to read it because I keep on forgetting this. If you really think this is true, maybe I should put in the title of this video, but it's a risky title. Synagogues are branches of Mossad and rabbis are agents. Shall I put this in the title of this video? What do you think? I think I'm gonna give it a try. They might actually demonetize this video. I don't know. You're gonna see. When you see the title, you see the title. But anyway, thank you so much. If you want to support my work, the best way is to order, actually pre-order, is being printed right now. My book #1 for children, Matilda's and Odo's Adventures. 5-year-old girl Matilda and her best friend, because dogs are the best, Odo. He's a beagle. I used to have beagle, that's why. And his name was Odo. Or you can donate on PayPal, become my Patreon member. That will help me as well, monthly support or locals. And if you have Instagram, follow me on Instagram. Let me show you so it's easier for you to remember it. Just 1 second. I'm gonna take you to main page. It's Ania K _44. And yeah, the links will be as always down below in the description box. Just scroll down underneath the video and that's it. Lots of love. And remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. Guess from who? Bye everyone.